Today we'll be analyzing a dark side strategy called 5 Alive. This was submitted on dicedata.info by Brian F, and it comes from a Casino Quest video which I will link to in the description. What I did was program 100,000 bots to play this strategy over 10 shooter sessions. That way we can see how much money is won, what kind of bankroll you'll need, the house edge, and some other pretty cool information. If you like this sort of thing, please give the video a like and a subscribe. Now, before we get into the statistics, let's take a quick look at how the strategy actually works. The idea is to start off with a don't pass and 4 lay bets. The lay bets are going to be on the inside numbers, the 5, 6, 8, and 9. If any of the lay bets get knocked off, we'll replace them with a don't come bet. The idea is to always keep 5 bets on the table, and that's why it's called 5 Alive. Notice how we win all the bets on a 7, but we only lose one at a time when that actual number is rolled. For today's video, we'll be taking the vig on the win, which is more advantageous to the player than taking it up front. The come out 7 is going to lose the don't pass, but it's going to win all the lay bets. Now we're starting to see some of those lay bets get picked off and replaced by the don't come bets. And there's the 7 out. So overall, the bot is up $65 for this shooter. Let's take a look at the full suite of statistics. Out of the million hands we simulated, the bots won 58.5% of them. I see this a lot with dark side strategies that win more often than they lose, but what really matters is how much you win. The most any bots lost was over $1,600 on a single shooter, while the most won was about $550. The median is positive, but the average is definitely pulled down by that long tail that we see over to the left. What's happening is the bots lose less often, but the losses are more extreme than the wins. Although you have to note that the majority of the bots are not all that extreme. The middle 90% of those 1 million hands ended up between a $225 loss and a $133 win. Over a 10-shooter session, only 46.1% of the bots won money, and that's of course the house edge that begins creeping in there. Their outcomes ranged from over $2,500 lost to over $1,200 won, but again, the typical outcomes are not nearly this extreme. This time, both the median and the average are pulled down below 0 by that long tail. Next, let's see what it actually costs the bots to play 5 Alive. This is the distribution of the out-of-pocket outlay per shooter. Remember, the bots are making $150 bets to start. That's 5 individual $30 bets. And some of them do get away with not having to pull any more money than that from their pocket, but on average, the bots are outlaying $110 more than that initial setup. And the 75th percentile is $300, which is showing us that about 25% of the bots actually had to outlay double or more that initial investment. We can also look at the outlay over the full 10-shooter session. Again, a few bots never had to invest more than $150, and some invested almost $3,000. But the median and the average around $450 to $500. It's pretty rare that any bot would outlay 10 times $150. Those awful sessions are fairly rare. If we extrapolate all this to an hourly basis, the middle 50% of the bots are outlaying anywhere from $400 to $700 per hour, and that is based off a fairly quick 100 throws per hour table. When it comes to return on their investment, almost 18% of the bots actually doubled their money. 6.8% tripled their money. 2.4% quadrupled their money. And just 743 out of the 100,000 bots ended up with 5 times their outlay. Unfortunately, none of our bots made 10 times their outlay with the 5 Alive strategy. Over 20% of the winnings came from the don't pass bet, and the lay bets accounted for most of the others. That makes sense because those bets are on the table earlier than the don't come bets. Losses are a little different though. The don't pass still takes the lead, but the don't come is a close second. And that's because the player is at a huge disadvantage on the come out roll for both of those bets. Actually, if we look at the report, the house edge on that come out roll is 45%. That's of course before it swings in the player's favor after it moves to its number. And just as a reminder, this full report is available on my subscriber site at thinktank.dicedata.info. And you can also get a full report on any strategy if you order a custom simulation. It's very easy to order. You can go on to dicedata.info/services. In all, the bots bet a total of $380 million, with $169 million won by the players and $175 million won by the house. That's a house take of almost $6.4 million and a blended house edge of 1.683%. I would classify that as a low house edge, and the strategy also has a relatively sparse hit rate of less than 5%. And that's because most of the bets are going to win at the same time when that 7 is rolled, and all the other times you're not winning those individual bets. The last thing I have for you is the bot battle. These are the sessions of the named bots. You can see all these results on dicedata.info, and if you like, you can even sponsor and name a bot. High Roller Hustler wins with $557. Rookie Rambler comes in second place with $286, and those are the only 2 winners this time. Bankroll Bandit, while he lost money, comes in third, and Dr. S in the first race comes in fourth, just barely missing the top 3. My next video is also going to be the 5 Alive, but it's going to be at a table that takes the VIG up front. If you want a preview of how much it's going to increase, I already have the full report available to subscribers on Dice Data Think Tank. And as always, thanks for watching and good luck at the tables.